This is Into the Fire. I'd like to welcome to Into the Fire the super talented future star, fellow Tea Gully youngster, someone who everyone will talk about next year, Cooper Murley. Nice to meet you, mate. Now, you're not eligible for this year's draft, but are touted as a future star and possibly early 2021 draft pick. Does this expectation as a youngster make you a bit nervous, or is it driving you to be an even better player?
I guess it does drive me a little bit. I'm not so much nervous. I mean, it's still quite a bit of time away until my draft actually is. So I guess the aim now is just try and play consistent footy and just hopefully maintain that standard of footy throughout next year. And hopefully, if the chances are my way, then I might get picked up. But yeah,
I'm sure you will get picked up. What was the young Cooper Murley like? Were you always a gun? What were you like at my age?
I guess as a youngster, I started off. Every young player obviously starts off a little bit edgy, but I guess just a lot of practice has got me to where I am today. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have classified myself as a young gun, but yeah, just many hours practicing has got me where I am. So.
Do you enjoy any other sports, and what do you like to do outside of footy?
Yeah, I do. I used to play soccer for a couple of years. That was got a bit hard though, juggling both footy and soccer at the same time. So obviously had to pick one, which is footy. But outside of footy, obviously it's important to have a life outside of footy. So spending time with friends, my girlfriend, even just going and doing small activities like other sports, it's always good. But because you don't want to spend your whole life just footy. So it's important to have that balance.
Yeah, that's super cool. The coronavirus has been such a pain. What have you been doing to make sure you're ready for the start of the season?
So we've been given a program from both our sample clubs and the AFL Hub, which has been really good. Obviously, it'd be hard if we were just left to fight for ourselves. So yeah, we've been given a program that we need to follow in order to stay fit. Because obviously during these times the return to footy is unknown. So it could come back at any stage. So yeah, we've been given a program. We've just been told to follow that throughout the time.
Yeah. Now you played for South Australia in under-16s and showed your amazing talent. Being selected as an All-Australian, this must have been an amazing thrill. Was this the time you went, hey, I've got a chance to make it here?
Yeah, it definitely does make you sit back and realise like you have a chance and you can take it a long way. But obviously being selected in the All-Australian squad is a massive honour, and it's a very good achievement, something I'll be proud of forever. But yeah, it did make me sit back and realise like, oh wait, I've got a chance here. So when something like that happens and you realise you'll do everything you can and put in all the hours and the hard work to make sure you can get there.
Yeah, what was it like playing with all those good players?
Yeah, it was totally different, I reckon. Obviously you're playing with the best of the best, so not just from your state, but from states all over the country. So yeah, it was a really good experience. You know, it's a good opportunity to challenge yourself and really see where you're at.
Yeah, it is. If you had to name 3 players for me to look out for in the 2021 draft from that All-Australian team, who would you suggest?
That's actually a good one. I don't know too many players from the other states, but there's a Victorian named Ben Hobbs, Josh Riccelli, and I'd also say Jason Horn from South Australia. I think they'd be the top 3 that I believe will get drafted and ones to look out for.
They're good players. Now, you're a Tea Gully player. Do you look at people like Luke Brown and Jack Graham as role models for you going forward, knowing they have to come through the club?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've been through the same system as what I have been. I know watching Jack Graham in that Crows Grand Final a couple of years ago, I think it was his 4th AFL game and he's playing in a premiership, kicked 3 goals. So yeah, it's definitely motivating, and obviously you'd love to be a name known at the club like Tea Gully. But yeah, it's definitely something to motivate me.
Yeah, it's super cool. Being so young and with such lofty goals, what are you setting as goals this year, knowing that will set you up for the following year?
Well, the main goal at the moment is just get out and play some footy. I can imagine we're all itching to play some footy, but like I said earlier, just maintaining a consistent brand of footy, and even with like for Nord, get a bit of success as a team is something I've always wanted to do. We won the under-15 Metro Championships in the under-15s, so definitely want to experience some success like that as a team again. But I think the main goal is, like I said, just trying to maintain some consistent footy.
If you get back to footy, that would be great. Because I want to get back to footy too.
Alright.
You've been described as an elite midfielder in the making, with great endurance and fantastic ability to break away from the pack with speed. Have you always been a midfielder? Also, make out I'm a scout. What are other traits you have that make you the player you are?
I think I've always been a midfielder. As a youngster, you just want to find footy as much as you can, so that's where I found my position in the midfield. But I'd say some of my other traits are my speed, allows me to break from the stoppage quite quickly, but I've found that I'm also quite versatile, so I can play down forward as well, which, as a youngster, it's always good to get down forward and kick some goals. So I guess that's where I found both roles, playing as a forward and as a midfielder, but I definitely love playing in the midfield, being able to find the footy, and it's obviously where the contest is most of the game. So, and I love that physical side of the game as well, so that's where I found myself as a midfielder.
Yeah, the best place to play in. What areas of improvement are you looking to concentrate on in the next 2 years?
Definitely my kicking has been a bit of a weakness the last couple of years, and I've definitely picked up with it because as you start to go through the grades, you get offered like all the statistics and stuff, which opens up the game and makes you see where you're really at. So my kicking's been probably the biggest weakness that I've been trying to work on over the last couple of years, and I've seek really good advice from people around the North Footy Club like Robbie Neal. Also advice from like Tony Bamford, Chris O'Connor out at Nord as well. So I've got really good people around me to help me with that.
Yeah. Okay, let's lighten the questions up a little bit here. Here's some less challenging questions for you. Who do you back for in the AFL?
Unfortunately, I back for Carlton. So
yeah.
struggling the last couple of years.
Carlton aren't doing too bad though.
Yeah, they're getting there, but it's been a tough few years. But hopefully we'll see them rise to the top in a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a tough few years for Carlton supporters. What AFL players do you think you play like or want to play like?
I see myself playing a lot like Patrick Dangerfield. Just his speed and his elusiveness to break out of the stoppage, and he's also got that versatility to play down forward as well. I know the last couple of years he's probably played a predominant role down in the forward line and probably less time in the midfield, but obviously alongside with that I'd love to play like Patrick Cripps as well, just his strength to be able to bust himself out of the contest, and he's a player that not many players want to play on, so just either them two would be really good.
Yeah, they're both really good players. Who's the most famous person you know?
Famous person I know? That's a really good question. I'd have to say Rolly Filthorpe, I reckon, at the moment. He's pretty well known, and I'm sure, as you know, he's probably going to go quite high in the draft this year. And yeah, he's a really good bloke as well, and that's what I guess AFL clubs will look for, like a good kid, which he is. So yeah, I'd probably say he's the most famous bloke I know.
Yeah, definitely. If you could have tea with any person in the world, who would you choose?
That's a tough one. I'd have to go Patrick Cripps. He's just obviously barracking for Carlton. He's probably one of my favourite players as well, and obviously getting the opportunity to share a nice dinner with him would be really good. So yeah, I reckon Patrick Cripps.
Yeah, that would be super cool. What is your dream job outside of playing AFL?
I've always been interested in the police force. I was as a kid really liked the whole police stuff. So something like that, or maybe a role in sports psychology, or even something like you being involved in some media stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah, all of those are pretty good. Describe yourself in 3 words.
I'd say humble, resilient, and hardworking.
Yeah, that's quick, and that's some pretty good words. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool?
How tall?
How cool?
Cool. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to give myself maybe a 7. Maybe not as cool as you, so not a bad scale, but could be better.
A lucky number. Well, Cooper, it's just awesome to meet such a young and up-and-coming talent. I cannot wait to follow your journey over the next 2 years and catch up with you again prior to 2021 draft. You are such a gifted and hard-working talent that you are destined for success. Now listen very hard here. I'm not going to tell you how to play footy because you've got that covered. But I'm going to give you the opportunity, the greatest celebration in AFL history, the Into the Fire. Don't get to the AFL stage without it. You've got 2 years to remember that.
I will, mate. Don't worry, I'll be practicing.
I'll keep reminding you. Well, thank you so much, Cooper. I can't wait to watch you develop in one of the league's finest players.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.